When MCX launched its new Silver 100 futures contract on June 1st, 2026, most of the discussion focused on several things: accessibility, a smaller contract size, lower capital requirements, and easier participation for retail investors. But there may be a much bigger story unfolding beneath the surface, because at the same time, exchanges are making silver more accessible. The global economy is entering what many technologists describe as the early stages of Web 4.0. And if Web 4.0 develops the way many experts expect, it could dramatically increase demand for one metal in particular: silver. Today we're exploring how India's new Silver 100 contract connects to the future of artificial intelligence, smart machines, autonomous systems, and the next generation of the Internet. Before we connect silver to Web 4.0, we need to define what Web 4.0 actually means. To understand it, let's quickly walk through the evolution of the Internet. Web 1.0 was the read-only Internet. People visited websites and consumed information. Think of the early Internet of the 1990s. Static web pages, limited interaction, mostly digital brochures. Then came Web 2.0. This was the social Internet. Users didn't just consume content, they created it. Platforms like YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram allowed billions of people to become publishers. The Internet became interactive. Then came Web 3.0, the decentralized Internet. Blockchain technology, smart contracts, digital ownership, cryptocurrencies. Web 3.0 focused on removing intermediaries and distributing trust. Now, many researchers and technology companies are discussing Web 4.0. While there is no universally accepted definition, Web 4.0 is generally described as an Internet where artificial intelligence becomes deeply integrated into everyday life. Machines don't simply provide information, they understand context, predict needs, interact autonomously, and communicate with other machines. Think about AI agents, smart factories, autonomous vehicles, internet-connected robots, digital assistants, smart cities, and machine-to-machine communication. The Internet becomes less about websites and more about intelligent systems operating continuously in the background. One of the biggest misconceptions about artificial intelligence is that it's purely digital. People hear terms like AI, cloud computing, machine learning, and imagine software floating around in cyberspace. But every AI model runs on physical infrastructure: massive data centers, computer chips, networking equipment, power systems, sensors, robotics, electrical connections, and that's where silver enters the picture. Silver is the most electrically conductive metal on Earth. No other metal conducts electricity more efficiently. Not gold, not copper, not aluminum. This is one reason silver has become so important in advanced technologies. The more sophisticated our electronic systems become, the more silver tends to be required throughout the supply chain. Silver is found in circuit boards, connectors, switches, sensors, semiconductors, and industrial electronics. In other words, the future Internet isn't built from software alone. It's built from physical materials, and silver is one of the foundational materials enabling that infrastructure. Consider what's happening right now. Technology companies are investing hundreds of billions of dollars into AI infrastructure. New data centers are being built across the globe. These facilities require enormous amounts of servers, networking equipment, power management systems, and cooling systems. Every layer requires sophisticated electrical components. As AI workloads increase, infrastructure requirements increase alongside them. The result is a massive industrial buildout, unlike anything seen since the rise of cloud computing. Many investors focus on AI software companies. Others focus on semiconductor manufacturers. But few pay attention to the raw materials required to support this infrastructure. Silver sits near the bottom of that technological pyramid, hidden from view, yet essential to the entire system. Without conductive materials, intelligent systems simply don't function. Many Web 4.0 advocates believe the next phase of technology will involve machines increasingly interacting with other machines. Imagine a world where autonomous vehicles coordinate traffic flow, delivery robots negotiate routes, and smart factories optimize production in real time. AI agents can execute transactions automatically. Every one of these systems depends on electronics. Every electronic system depends on electrical conductivity, and many of those systems utilize silver somewhere within their architecture. This doesn't mean every new AI device contains massive quantities of silver, but most contain small amounts. When billions of these devices are deployed globally, those small amounts become very meaningful. And that's the key concept, scale. Web 4.0 isn't about one robot. It's about millions. Not one smart sensor, but billions. Now let's bring the conversation back to Silver 100. Why launch a smaller silver contract today? Officially, MCX states the goal is broader participation and improved accessibility. That makes complete sense. But there may be another factor. Investor interest in silver is evolving. Historically, silver was viewed primarily as money, jewelry, or just precious metal. But today it's increasingly occupying a dual role. Silver is both a monetary metal and an industrial metal. That industrial component is becoming more important every year. As investors begin recognizing silver's role in artificial intelligence, data centers, electrification, renewable energy, and robotics, the interest in silver markets will continue to grow. And if participation grows, exchanges benefit from having products that appeal to a wider audience. Silver 100 creates a lower friction entry point for investors who want exposure to these long-term technological trends. Let's be clear, no one can predict the future. And there is no guarantee that Web 4.0 will unfold exactly as enthusiasts imagine. But if several trends continue simultaneously, silver could remain strategically important. Trend number 1, artificial intelligence. Trend number 2, data center expansion. Trend number 3, robotics and automation. Trend number 4, electrification. Trend number 5, smart infrastructure. Each trend individually supports demand for advanced electronics. Combined, they create a powerful long-term narrative. Investors often look for what economists call second-order effects. Instead of asking which AI company will win, they ask, what does every AI company need? That question often leads to semiconductors, energy, electrical infrastructure, and industrial metals. Silver sits at the intersection of several of those categories, and this is why many analysts increasingly discuss silver not merely as a precious metal, but as a strategic industrial resource. The launch of Silver 100 by MCX may appear to be a simple exchange product, a smaller contract, lower barriers to entry, greater market accessibility, but viewed through a wider lens, it arrives at a fascinating moment in history. The world is building the infrastructure for artificial intelligence. The world is investing heavily in automation. The world is constructing the foundations of what many call Web 4.0. And throughout that process, one metal continues appearing over and over again: silver. Whether Silver 100 becomes a major success remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the future internet will not exist solely in software. It will require physical infrastructure. Physical infrastructure requires materials, and silver may prove to be one of the most important materials of all.